Hello. Welcome to Dish Knows Nothing. I'm Michael Dishnow. Sometimes we'll talk about stuff, and other days we'll talk about things. Some days we're just going to talk about what's on my mind. This is a warning. Thank you for listening. Welcome back. This is how it's going to start.
Yeah, 3 seconds of like awkward silence. I love that.
Oh, welcome back, folks, to part 2, maybe, of Ethan episode.
I'm still here.
Ethan is still here. And if you joined us for last week's episode, then we talked about things. And if you are curious what those things were, go listen to it. And if you've already listened to it, then you know what those things are. Congrats. I love you.
Gold star.
There it is. If you... No. I don't think that many people will listen to it, but I was going to say if you listen to it, I'll text you a gold star, but that could be dangerous if, we ever blow up, so.
Do you know how many texts you'd have to send out?
Yeah.
You'd also have to give
At
out your
least
phone
10.
number.
Yeah.
That's the part that scares me. The phone number getting
phone number
leaked.
is pretty big.
That's
yeah.
a pretty big one.
Yeah. My phone number is 12. Just kidding.
That's my social security number.
Huh? How old are you?
5.
Anyways, folks. Whoa, wait. Do I need another sponsor for this episode?
Can we use the same ones?
Yeah, that's how it's going to roll. This is the part 2 episode. Quick draw. Same information as the last time. Sponsor. Cat's Dog Poppy. We love you. Can't wait to meet you.
Cat's dog poopy.
Cat's Dog's Poppy
Poopy.
Poopy.
Yeah. This time, it's her feces that we're sponsoring.
Might post a pic. Next sponsor, Stance. We love you guys. Straight up. That's just how it is. Song of the day was Swimming Pools by Man of Mars. Go listen to it again this week.
Please do.
Actually,
Do you want to change?
week over week, we're going to do... I feel like week over week, I'll do different ones because the
Okay.
song of the day can be represented for the week. So this one will have a different song of the day.
Okay.
Pick.
Ooh. Are we still staying with us?
You could do whatever you'd like.
Okay.
Entirely in your court.
Okay. Let me do a quick browse
Yeah.
of what I've been listening to lately. And then I gotta give it out to my girl SZA. Let's do some Kill Bill. I know
I was actually just thinking that song when you said that.
that song is really trendy right now, but as a big SZA fan,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. So
Yeah.
that's a song of the week.
I get you. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Cool. Song of the day. Kill Bill by SZA. Check it out. Jumping into more topics.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I only have one other written down.
Okay.
We mentioned another. I think we should talk about Fortnite.
Oh yeah, that is like opening Pandora's box.
But what if it's not? Or what if we end up just recording for 3 hours? Let's see what happens.
Watch us have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, so Fortnite is spelled F-O-R-T.
Has anyone ever heard of a little game called Fork Knife?
So true, though. Yeah, so I have to burp, but it's not coming out.
Oh,
for, like,
geez.
the last minute and a half. It hurts a little bit.
Everyone plug your ears.
So Fortnite was one of the pitched ideas, and I have to admit something. So I'm just going to say it because I am at this point proud of it. I think I've moved past being like weirded out. Fortnite is for sure like a kid game. It for sure has kid graphics. It's a fantastic game. It really is.
It really is.
Epic, the company who makes it, if you don't know, Epic Games, they've done a fantastic job. They just have. Like it's that plain and simple. Like as far as games, marketing, branding, all that kind of stuff, like Fortnite is such a chill game that you can get really far into, that you can throw hours into, that like they have, I think, gone up and down. Oh,
There it was.
that was most of it. But so I've actually been playing Fortnite since like 2017, which for those of you who don't know, Fortnite originally came out like 2012, 2014. So they came out with the Save the World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll look it up real quick because I want to get that one right.
Yeah, let's get a little backstory
When
on
did
Fortnite.
Fortnite World, because Fortnite from Epic. Which what are some other Epic titles? Do you want to look that up real quick?
Fall Guys, I know, is one. Um, Epic also had Infinity Blade, if you remember that good old mobile game. Let's
Mhm.
call it that. There's nothing weirder than typing in Epic games into Safari. It looks like Goat Simulator 3
Oh, really?
is
That's
one
funny.
of them. Yeah, Unreal Tournament, Rocket League.
This is so wrong. This is funny. It says Fortnite Save the World came out June 29th of 2020. I know that's for sure
Definitely
a lie.
didn't.
I was playing it earlier than that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few games, and I could be wrong because I'm using the internet, and
Not
you
checking
should
sources. It's fine.
always believe everything you read on the internet.
Yeah.
But as far as Google goes, there are multiple games.
Yeah. They definitely are like an established studio, and they have Rocket League. Did you already say that one?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making sure. I was like, that's another one that I know that went free not too long ago.
Yeah. Goat Simulator surprises me.
So right, I didn't know
Yeah.
that one actually. So I'm just skimming, but looking through here. I think the game originally was supposed to be out on Unreal Engine 4 in 2013.
Okay.
And so that's when they were like basically pitching it out. And then it went under Tencent for a while. Early access release. I think it was early access release in 2017. And then the Battle Royale spin-off, because I think it would have been in beta before that, as far as like the Save the World like story that like didn't really
Go anywhere.
go anywhere. That I think people play, but definitely not as much as the Battle Royale. But the Battle Royale being so popular because it was like a huge free-to-play type of game
Right.
back in 2017 when it launched. And for those of you who don't know, a Battle Royale is a type of game that essentially you jump in with a lobby of people, which a lot of them are like 100 people, and you fight to the death. Whatever the type of game is, in the instance of Fortnite being a shooter, you're basically playing against 99 other people to be the last one standing. This is one of the other things. I don't know years and stuff for this, but I think what hits me with Fortnite in particular is that actually they hit the Battle Royale game at a really good time. Because there was a few Battle Royales that were like a little bit popular, like right before that, like PUBG, or even what was like there was this first one I think is called, I've played it, something Z. It was like essentially the first Battle Royale of that
Yeah.
area.
I'm not familiar with
It was like
that.
the type where it's like, here's the map, and then the toxic gas shrinks, and there's zombies type of thing is like their premise.
Is it World War Z?
No, it's not World War Z. It's like first Battle Royale Z.
I was going to say we have Google.
Oh, Z1 Battle Royale. H1Z1. That's what it's called.
H1Z1.
H1Z1. I've
Was
played
it.
it.
H1N1.
What's that?
Isn't that the flu?
Is it a disease? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, H1Z1 was a really interesting game. It wasn't too bad. I've actually played it, and it was like one of the first ones that was like around that timeline. And the thing is, it got a little bit popular. People liked it. A few, like PUBG comes out, and then Fortnite comes out as an easy to play free battle royale. And then like they just like took off. And I think it's funny because Fortnite's kind of really gone up and down over the years, where like they'll have really good seasons and they'll have like lower.
Yeah,
engagement
it
seasons.
definitely has like peaks and valleys.
And the thing is, like, again, what I said of like Fortnite has just been smart in their marketing. Like, dude, The Rock is in Fortnite
Oh God.
twice.
Yeah.
He's one of the main characters of like their story that they've created, but there's also a skin of Black Adam.
Right.
And the thing is, like, so if you don't know much about Fortnite, and I don't expect a majority of people to know about it, but like Fortnite, essentially, like you could play the game absolutely free. And something that's super popular in video games now is battle passes,
Yeah.
where essentially the battle pass is 10 weeks long. It's 2 months long, whatever the timeline of the battle pass. And you pay like $10 and you have all this loot or cosmetics or things to unlock within that time when you play. So, the battle pass is like one of these things, especially in Fortnite, that like I have skins, which like the cosmetics of like what player I can be of the battle pass from like the second season ever of Fortnite, which for those of you who don't know was like 5 years ago or whatever in 2017, and it's like a status symbol.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Like it's like when I pull out the Reaper skin, it was funny. This was before like they went into like big licensing and licensing stuff,
Right.
and this skin was like the John Wick. Because he kind of looks like John Wick, but he's clearly not John Wick.
He's like the
off-brand. And he's called the Reaper. And it was like such a status that you got him because it was tier 100. And it was like, oh my gosh, like you finished the battle pass.
Yeah.
Like, especially for people who like finished it early because you didn't used to be able to buy it all the way if I remember right. And so it's just like so funny like how much of a status it is. And like when you see someone with a really old skin, you're like, oh dang, okay, this person's been playing for a really long time type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you like, people will sell these accounts based on like the collectibles because that's what it is, like these collectible things. And Fortnite has done it right, especially with like the licensing, because again, like I said, like The Rock is in it. There's a whole season dedicated to Marvel skins, and you can be Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange, and like all this stuff, you know. And Fortnite's just insane about that because Epic has made good decisions with that kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah, I feel like they have. I mean, I remember we got into Fortnite like together with our little group, like the same time that we started writing music. I want to say it was like our like cool down after like writing a song. And I remember the Marvel season had like just started. We played one round in your old apartment, and I bought the battle pass.
Yep.
And I didn't even have a console yet.
Yep.
So if that doesn't scream commitment, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
I didn't have a console. Let's say, you know, we started playing in what, like August or something. I didn't have a console till the PS5 came out. And that came out in like November. So I went a few months without having it, and it just kind of like drew my attention in. I feel like Epic does a really great job when it comes to like learning what's on trend and like what's popular at that time. Because like you said, there was that entire Marvel season, and then they've had, you know, they had a cool season after that, and then they had one of the worst rated seasons ever with the Primal stuff. And they came back the next season with aliens and UFOs, and I was like, holy crap, I've never liked playing this game more.
Yeah, that was a solid season.
Yeah, I feel like they respond well to fan critique.
They do. 100%. And that has become a huge thing in the gaming community, because if you listen to your fans who are paying you and you are quick about it, they're so responsive.
Oh, for
like if
sure.
you think about it, like the average gamer plays multiple times a week, and if it's like something that they do on a weekly basis like that, like, and they're paying money, whether or not it's like, you know, quarterly, or they're paying the game once, or they're buying DLCs and stuff like that. If you're responsive, they'll stay loyal because they like the game.
Sure, yeah.
You know?
You won't lose your fan.
And I have to admit, like, again, like I said, Fortnite hit it at a good time, because like now just about most games are like, they're really leaning towards free, or they'll have the battle pass, or they'll have like cosmetics more than like pay to win type of stuff, where you can like buy the better gun. It's like, you can just buy a gun that looks cool, but it does the same thing you should be good at the game.
Right.
And like, now that so many games are like that, it's like people are like, oh, they're just like doing kind of what Fortnite did, you know?
Yeah, I feel
Fortnite
like
did it.
There definitely is
right
like a
spot.
blueprint. And every time I see a battle pass, I'm like, oh, well, is this one better than Fortnite's? Because I know I'm already going to buy that one.
Yeah. Because again, Fortnite didn't do it first. There was other games
there was other things doing it.
They were doing battle royales and they were doing battle passes, but they did it so well at the right time to just create people that stick with it for so long.
Yeah. And it's definitely one of those things too. Like, Fortnite definitely looks like a kid's game.
100%.
Like when I play it,
except for now that it's on Unreal Engine 5.1.
That is true.
Because it looks beautiful.
Beautiful for any of you naysayers out there. But I will say, it definitely gives that, like, I don't know, I want to say like late 2000s, early 2010s kid vibe, where it's just so hyper saturated and so much is going on, like iPad babies. You know what I mean? Like that's what I
That's
think
what
of.
it looks like. Yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
looks like
100%.
iPad babies were the intended audience because they were.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here as full-grown adults playing it, but that's fine because it's fun.
Because it's fun. And I think to that point, like, okay, so I don't know if you've ever played Warzone, like Call of Duty, but
Not as much as you have.
okay, so I've played it and like, I don't know, it's a battle royale. You same concept, you have a battle pass, you jump in, and like it's weird because the wins from Warzone feel rewarding, but like losing feels so much worse than losing
Yeah.
in Fortnite. Right? Like I've won in Warzone. It feels good. Squatting up with the boys and you're jumping in and you're like, oh my gosh, we did it. Like that
Sure.
felt so good. And it feels very rewarding. But there's been literal times when I'm sitting there playing Fortnite and I'm in the top 5 and I'm like shaking because I'm so oh my gosh, is this it? So there's like earlier wins like back in the day, like with my buddy Greg, where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like there's 5 people and I'm starting to shake and I'm like trying to build and I'm like
You're getting
flinching
sweaty,
up, and
literally.
I'm literally
Yeah.
sweating, and it's like they just did this thing that feels so good to win, but also like it doesn't feel so awful to lose where you're like, oh, that was exciting, now I'm gonna jump back in. Because that's like the concept. If you don't know, like battle royales are essentially the game is fight to the death with 100 or 99 other people, and when you lose you just do it again.
It's just repetitive.
And you might hate that. Like, you might not be the person for that, and that's fine. Again, not all battle royales are the same feeling when they make it, and that's why just like Epic has done such a good job of making Fortnite feel good and repeatable, especially because if you don't know, which again I'm going to assume a lot of people don't know, is like in Fortnite there's that general premise: battle royale, win, get cosmetics through the battle pass. But they also have this leveling system, which other games have. I do favor Fortnite, of like they have quests that you can do, and they're stupid.
Yeah.
They're like, go dig a hole in the northwest portion of the map, and you're like, where the heck is
Sometimes you look through your quests and you're like, what in the hell?
Yeah. So okay, I have to admit, this is the dating me of saying I've been playing Fortnite for so long. So now, like you go in and it's like, oh, go pet this dog. And it tells you exactly where it is. It pinpoints it.
Right.
It pinpoints and it shows you on the map, and it's super easy to find. You go up there, you click square, and you pet the dog for the quest, right? There used to be ones that were straight up like, find the chest hidden in the floor. And that was it. That is the only clue you had, to find the chest on the map and find it in the floor. Like, that wasn't a specific one off the top of my head, but like it would be stuff like that. Like there used to be one. So
yeah, they give you like nothing to go off of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the original map, very vividly, I remember when they introduced them too, is like there was one that was like, find a crab. And you're like, what do you mean find a crab? And you had to like run around the map, and there was this crab made of wood.
Oh my gosh.
And then it was like, find a dog. And then there's this dog made of stone. Like, and then what was the third one? It was a llama up in the top left of the map made of metal. And it was like, find a llama, and you just had to find it. And then, it started to get popular. So like within the week of the quests coming out, you could find like Game Rant had had like guides, and it would tell you where it was. So I would usually look those up if I couldn't find them. But like, it was just the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Like how different the quests have become, because it was literally the most ambiguous thing to like find something and like find 3 balloons that look alike. And you're like, how am I supposed to do that?
I will say, like, I value those quests so much higher than the ones that are like, break 5,000 trees.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot tell you how irritating it is when I log into Fortnite and I'm just looking to play with friends, and they're like all leveling up, and I'm like, yeah, I have nothing to do besides smash some trees.
But here's the kicker, guys, because this is what we need to answer. Why do we do it? We still go and break the 5,000 trees.
That's true. I will sit there and I will break 5,000 trees.
You will say in your head, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. This doesn't sound fun. But then we sit there swinging at a tree for hours on end, because it's like, I'm going to do it. Because, again, Epic has done well in making you feel rewarded. Sure. They give you just the right amount of serotonin.
Yeah.
They give you the crumb of serotonin. No, I'm just kidding. Not a crumb. They're very, very generous.
That's a whole meal.
They make you feel so rewarded, and it feels so good when you like unlock this stupid thing in this game.
Right. I'm like, oh cool, look, I got a back bling.
Yeah. And like, cool, I got Pickle Rick. Like,
yeah, right.
That's like the first one that popped in my
Yeah.
head. Or like, oh, cool, I have one that matches the Scarlet Witch. And like, it's the dumbest stuff. But again, I think they get it to a point where it's aligned with the things that you care about. Again, like you
For
jumped
sure.
in because it was Marvel. Like
Right.
that's so cool. Like
It was
throwing Marvel in there. You
perfectly
see
timed.
Moon Knight in the shop and you're like, I'm buying it.
Right.
The other day, you're like, dang it, the Plague Doctor is in here, and you're like, I can't log on because I won't be home. And I'm like, I'll buy it for you and send it. Like,
Right.
Because like we know, like for whatever reason, and again, I think for me, so not for whatever reason, but I think for me, like I have like even like Snapchat memories that I look back on, and I'm like, this is such a good memory of Fortnite. Like I look back at some of the friends that I've made through it, or just like the times that I've had with other friends that I've known even outside of Fortnite because of that. Like one of the random ones, and he doesn't follow me on Instagram anymore, so I unfollowed him because I was really butthurt about it. But Chris Del Padre, a buddy of mine who I met through Billy and Jed.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And met through Fortnite.
Oh, no way.
Like met through Fortnite.
Yeah.
Played all the time to the point where me and him would play alone. Never met him in real life.
But never met in person.
Never met in person. And like had some really fun, and it was just like chilling with him, talking, like getting to know him.
Yeah.
And like I'm not the type of person that's like, let me get to know someone online through a video game. Like I'm not. Like I don't.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
either.
Just not. And so like this was just like so new for me. To the point where like a few months later, I like he lived in San Fran at the time.
Okay.
And like me and my wife and like Jack and Hannah will go up to like San Fran.
Yeah.
And straight up like it was like, hey Chris, you want to meet? Let's
Oh,
grab
no
lunch.
way.
Got to meet him and everything. It was like the coolest thing, just the most random time. And it was like there's just like these are the memories that I have from Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like it's just this weird game that like at this point in my life, like I won't play it forever. One day it'll be gone. That's fine. Like
Right.
I won't like, you know, I'm not gonna like bring you to the grave with me or anything, you know.
That account might be going to the grave with you, though.
Right, dude. I've spent so much money on Fortnite.
Yeah.
But it's all worth it.
Right. Right.
That's what I tell myself. And my wife. But like the memories that I have are so fond.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
like again, like you said, our time.
Yeah, I mean, that answers my question, because I was going to ask you, like, why do you play Fortnite? Like, what is it about the game? Because we've talked about what the allure is, but, like, you know, what about the game specifically? But you kind of answered that by saying the memories, and I think I can relate to that, because for me, it definitely reminds me of, you know, I started playing, like I said, in, like, 2020, right? Mm-hmm. We were like, everything's closed down, you know, for one reason or another.
Let's make music, play Animal Crossing,
right.
and Fortnite.
I was like, I have literally nothing else to do. You know, life was so chaotic. Everything was in the air. But I was like, one thing I know I can do if I can't go hang out with my friends is at least like hang out with my friends and do something together. And like Fortnite was that thing for us and a lot of our like mutual friends. Like, right? Like we'd like sit there, you know, maybe for hours for you know, whether we're ashamed of that or not, but we'd sit there for hours and we'd a lot of times not even really realize that we were playing. Some of the best memories that I have of Fortnite are just like chilling with like you and Zoe and Matt and Jordan and Justin and like getting wins when we're not really trying.
Those
like
are the best ones.
Yeah.
We all start laughing too hard and we're all just playing, and then we're like, oh guys, there's one person left.
Yeah, it's always like completely silent, and then somebody goes, oh shit, it's us against one person.
Yeah.
So please don't lose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I think those are the funniest ones for sure, because like you're just having fun, and like I think there's a lot to be said about video games in general there. Like
yeah,
even for lack of a better term, like the community that can come with it, because of like, again, especially during a year like 2020 and 2021 even, and bleeding into some of 22 depending on, you know, your situation. Like video games, I said that so weird and it bothered me.
Video games
video games they have such a weird way of building like community when you can't like go see people, or like I know like Justin, he has a lot of friends over on like the East Coast that he's played a lot with over the years, where it's like, oh, like I'm gonna play on East Coast, I'm gonna be up late or whatever it is, and like stuff like that, and like or they'll be up until like super late is what it would be. But you know, like there's such a way to keep in touch with a thing that like might not feel as forced as like, oh, like let me call you.
I feel like there's more of a level of commitment, and not to get like too deep,
do it.
People are scared of commitment. in many factors.
Go back. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, rewind.
Never mind. I give up.
People are very scared of commitment, and I feel like that even bleeds down into things as simple as making a phone call or playing a game or whatever. And I feel like for video games, being as casual as they are, it's a lot easier for people to commit to something that they can almost turn their brain off in a sense and just enjoy what's happening rather than feeling like they need to be engaged.
Right. Because that's the thing. And I feel like it takes time to understand video games on that level, and it's not like an alienating thing. I think it's just like if you're interested in video games and you don't understand it, like it takes time. Like I grew up playing video games. I remember vividly going to my cousin's house on like every other weekend and stuff like that, and like playing on the Sega and the Dreamcast, and, like, all these random consoles, and like playing these games and getting so used to hand-eye coordination and stuff like that. Because like the difference is like I'll see my wife play and she's like playing and like moving her head because she like it's just like it's not natural for her to like use these joysticks and press these buttons and operate the controller in such a way when I've been playing like for so long. And like, you know, it's still, you can learn, like it takes time. It's not like you jump into it as everyone can. And like the thing is, like for me, it's such a way to turn my brain off. Like there are days where I'm like, all right, I'm so tired and so done. Like I want to just stare at a screen, play a mindless game that I know is dumb, and just not think, because my brain doesn't need to think, because it doesn't matter, you know? Like I think, you know, if you think video games matter, I think it matters to you, and that's fantastic. But like it's that thing to me where it's like I could just turn my brain off entirely and not think and play a game.
Oh, sure.
And again, casually hang out with friends in that way.
Yeah, if I can sit there and turn my brain off, but include my friends in it, I'm stoked. There are things, you know, that don't involve video games that kind of give you that same, like, vibe, I guess, you know, but it really depends on what you're doing. Like, you could even say, like, oh, watching a movie, you can turn your brain off.
Right.
But I would argue, like, you know, is it a movie that you need to be focusing on, or is it one that you've seen before, right? There's, like, other factors that go into it, where I feel like even the most complicated video games, you can still turn your brain off and have a good time.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that one that I have been playing a lot of recently is Cuphead.
Really?
And I got into Cuphead because this Christmas, my boyfriend got a PlayStation 5, which I'm super excited about because got to get him to play with us.
Fortnite.
I know. I'm still trying to convince him. But I was showing him some games, and we landed on Cuphead because it's a 2-player game. And, you know, depending on like what rating system you look at online, some people will tell you it's one of the hardest games you've ever played. But I don't know if that's out of sheer frustration or if it actually is hard.
Yeah.
But like that game is so damn hard. But like I still feel like I can turn my brain off
and just
sit there and like enjoy the company of him and talk and like have a good time, whether or not like we're, you know, focused on like this hard task at hand, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the thing for me is like I love the community that it brings. It does bring up a bigger question on like, you know, what is community with gaming, and
toxic.
Are there toxic communities and are there not? Because there definitely are.
Yeah.
And like what your relationship with gaming is, right?
Yeah. I think the vast external online like gaming community of strangers can be pretty toxic in my experience. Like, and I think for people who know that side, like, can agree, right? Like there are classic tropes of Xbox 360 game chats that are just like overtly offensive, and like, you know, it's like a thing because of how common it is. And I think me and the guys who will play Call of Duty, and I don't play with them as much right now just because like they play Warzone and I play Fortnite, but
play a man's game.
Yeah.
Let me just put it out there.
Yeah. But no, like we would just like every now and then just like try to be like overly loving to people and be like, hey guys, that was a really good game, you guys played super well. Because like we're all pretty good at those games, and so we'll play and just like wipe teams out, like just destroy them, be like, hey guys, you did super well, and everyone on the other team's like yelling like, hey, you suck, and it's like, hey,
whatever profane thing they can think of.
And so like it's just so funny how like different that can be, because like I mean, the classic trope for Fortnite is little 12-year-olds playing, and so it's like, he's
Right.
probably not gonna be saying things that are overtly offensive, because his parents are in the next room, like, like,
Right. But he might have the microphone literally in his mouth.
yeah. He's like, sorry if that was disgusting.
Yeah, that was probably really loud.
But no, for sure. Like, it's the funniest thing. Like, I almost prefer to play it because it's not as toxic of a community, even if you get paired up with randoms. Like, there's been a few times, I don't do it often because I'm not a fan of it, but I've like just chosen like to fill the squad with random people.
Sure.
And like, half of them are 12-year-olds that are breathing into their mic, or their mom is talking in the bathroom, the back room, and
Telling them they have
the
homework
background,
due.
and they don't realize that their mic is on. And then other times, like, I've had random nights where like I join up with some dude like in the middle of nowhere, and we get some like really good games in, and we're just chatting about nothing. Like, we're not getting to know each other, we're not becoming friends and getting personal, but we're just like, oh dude, that was a good shot. Like, just playing
it's
games.
an interesting way to meet people.
Yeah,
I will say.
Yeah, and like I said, like, I am not the type that like I will actively go out to like meet people like that. Like, I'm not like, oh, let me play this so I can meet some friends. Like, because I have my friends. Because again, to your point of the community is like, I have the community of friends that I like to play with.
Right, you're not.
And that's why I play
that.
with it. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's why, like, I play Fortnite because a bunch of my friends play Fortnite. Like, realistically, if you guys start playing another game, you'll probably start playing it.
And that has happened.
Right.
There have been games where we've all jumped on and we've kind of left Fortnite for, a month or two and jumped back. So it really goes to show that it's more the pre-existing community, I think, for both you and I. Like, we're not out there looking for like a new squad of people.
Yeah.
Again, pun intended. But yeah, I mean, and that also brings up something that I'm kind of curious of, like, what is your relationship with gaming like historically? Like what is your background with gaming? Like, where do you fall? What's your favorite? Where do you find yourself, gravitating towards game wise, stuff like that?
So gaming, if I was to look at like my first memories of gaming, to go to the beginning, it would for sure be one of two routes, because I feel like it's around the same time. One of them would have been Battlefield on like a laptop.
Sure.
Like,
okay.
PC gaming.
Yeah.
Like Battlefield 2142 or Battlefield 2 or Battlefield Vietnam. Solid games, like classic first person shooter.
Back in Nam.
Jenny. And the other one would be like the Sonic collection on like Dreamcast and Sega.
Yeah.
For sure. All the time playing with my cousin Kyle. And we would play like all of those Sonic games, and like they had the ones where you can take care of like the little Chow is what they were called.
Oh,
do you remember those?
That just unlocked a memory.
Yeah. The little creature thing that like you would like find them and find the rare ones.
Yeah,
and
holy
like,
shit.
I didn't remember if it was like breeding or what, but like they would have like Chow races that you could do and like things like that. And like that's for sure like where I got used to gaming.
Yeah, got some like core memories.
And like, I don't know, then you hop, skip, and a jump to down the road where like I got, my first Xbox when I was younger, and like played like all the Spider-Man games, and like never got into like online gaming until like way later. And then, got like the Xbox 360 with like you remember the Kinect?
I do.
Like the little motion
I
capture
remember the
camera.
biggest thing I remember from the Kinect is Connectimals. It was like an animal game.
Yes, I remember.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't think we had it. I was really oddly good at the dancing ones.
Okay.
I
Got
don't
some
know
rhythm.
why. I was a baller at like all of those dancing ones, just
Dang.
like 100%, like just like I don't know why.
So we need to play Just Dance is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I probably shred. We have it on the Switch actually.
Oh, no way. Okay.
We might be playing after this,
Okay,
I guess,
okay.
depending if it's not midnight.
Yeah.
But then I think from there I bought my first like console myself was the PS4.
Okay.
I bought the PS4 for myself and like got into Skyrim. Got into what other games was I really playing at that time? I don't know. I can't think. I think Call of Duty lightly, but not much. my parents were very much so like, oh, play the games that are rated for you. And so like I wasn't like buying rated M games until I was old enough.
You were playing games that were like within the age range.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, you know, there's I don't even know what games I was playing on the PS4. I definitely know Skyrim was like a big one. Minecraft. I did get into Minecraft for a while, but way later than when it came out and not when it was super popular. And then eventually got like a PS4 Pro, moved out of my parents, bought all the games I wanted to. No,
I mean, you have money.
Exactly. And then I had debt.
Yeah, right.
There was definitely a time that I do remember with video games where it was like we used to have guys' nights all the time at my apartment. And we would like have all the guys come over, get like dominoes and like chips and just garbage, and then play like Call of Duty split screen.
Oh, okay.
And that was a real consistent thing for a while. It was a lot of fun. And then eventually, you know, PS5, Fortnite, all that good stuff.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's definitely a lot of more blanks there, or like blanks to fill in the blanks.
Some like gaps in the in the
you knew what I was trying
narrative.
To say. Yeah, but I don't know. I think video games I definitely grew up with. Like I could say like, yeah, I grew up playing games. I grew up, you know, liking video games and being a gamer. I never was like huge into PC gaming. Well, I guess there was that time when we got PCs and built them and tried that out. And
that almost kind of feels like a fever dream.
Feels like a fad we got into. And like, I'll admit, it's definitely a different gaming experience. I prefer the leisureness of a console.
I like laying down. I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I'm a lazy gamer.
Yeah. That's
my thing. I like, you know, get into a little bit of my, I guess, gaming backstory.
Readjusting on the couch here for those of you who are not watching on YouTube.
Yeah, right. It's okay. I've moved like 6 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some of my earliest memories with gaming are with Mario and like Super Mario World, Super Mario World 2. Like I
just forgot so much about the DS.
Yeah. I grew up a Nintendo kid, like through and through. My mom was huge into Nintendo when I was born.
Oh. Can I interrupt you?
Go ahead.
Okay, remember when I said mannequin earlier?
I do remember that.
Okay, I'm going to throw this in there, and this will be for the folks who listen to the other episode. I'll touch on it, and then we'll go back to a Nintendo.
Okay.
I haven't, but have you ever seen a plus-sized male mannequin? I'm not trying to start a big commentary, and I'm not trying to make a big deal, but I haven't.
No.
And if so, folks, if you have, tell me where. Send me a picture. Like, I haven't.
Yeah, now I'm actually genuinely like
again because we're all for body positivity. I can't say it at this point.
Whatever that was.
Positivity body.
Yeah, that. I'm all for that.
Yeah, but like I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I've never seen a male plus size mannequin.
That's true. I mean, I actually haven't either. Which is weird because you would think that it would also exist.
Yeah.
But I guess it has to somewhere.
Right, it has to. Maybe it's just at the Big and Tall website and stores, but like, you know, like, because they make plus size clothes and, you know, there are people...
And a lot of stores have plus size mannequins now, but I never see a plus size male mannequin. That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I saw it the other day and I was going to pretend to make a big stink about it. And like pretend I cared. I don't really care. But like,
jeez, you're gonna be that guy.
I was gonna be on Instagram about it and everything, but I was like, I don't actually care. I'm just all for it. But anyways, Nintendo. The other thing I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So I vividly remember when I first started having my episodes of insomnia, and I was younger. There's a time I just wouldn't sleep, and my parents were like, every night I was just not sleeping. And I was just being obnoxious. And there was a night coming up on Christmas where if I went to bed that night, they promised me to buy me a Wii.
Okay.
I didn't get it. I went to bed. And I did not get a Wii.
That's where your distrust stems from.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
That's the only reason I don't trust the establishment.
Noted.
Yeah, no. So if anyone wants to buy me a Wii, who knows? I might trust you forever. But
right.
But no,
Good luck finding one.
I vividly remember that.
That's funny. I mean, I definitely have, like I was saying, like I have a lot of memories of Nintendo more than anything else. I grew up a Nintendo kid. My mom was playing Mario back in the day. I remember playing Mario on like the Nintendo 64 as
Yeah.
a kid. And then I have vivid memories of I was 5 years old, got my first console. I got a Nintendo GameCube. It
Mm.
came with the Mario Kart.
Yeah. Paper
I
Mario.
would play that all the time. I remember when I was a little bit older, I like would recycle bottles and cans for like my family in my neighborhood, and I like saved up just enough money to buy myself a Wii when it came out. Got like, a few iterations of the DS,
Mm-hmm.
but I was a Nintendo kid like through and through, like Pokemon, like
Yeah.
all that stuff. And then it wasn't until we started playing Fortnite that I got a
The
PlayStation.
Yeah.
And now I'm primarily a PlayStation gamer, which is so interesting to think about. Like, I don't know. I feel like if the Switch would step it up a little bit, I
Yeah.
might play my Switch more.
Yeah. I think the next generation of Switch and not the OLED one, I think they're going in a good direction.
I hope so.
I hope that's the thing. Okay, I'm hoping that they just like take all the feedback, they fix the things that need to be fixed, and it's just like
It's
beautiful.
been pretty rough. Some of those games that have been
Yeah.
coming out, like, there's been like Breath of the Wild and all that stuff. And,
Yeah.
and that game's fantastic.
There's fantastic games.
There
for
are
it.
fantastic games on that console. And then you get things like the latest Pokemon game that came out.
Yeah.
And like, it's a fun game if you're not looking to play a technically brilliant game.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. It runs like shit.
Yeah. It's rough.
It is rough. And like, it's hard when you want to run around and immerse yourself in a world and like catch these like little creatures, but they're under the screen texture and they're floating under the map.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard.
Yeah, no, that's tricky because, yeah, like I gotta admit too, I forgot, like I for sure had like a DS Lite when I was younger, and like I remember I wasn't really allowed to play like Pokemon.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that.
Yeah, and so I got Pokemon Pearl from my cousin as like a hand-me-down, and
Great game.
I played the heck out of it.
Oh yeah.
I think I still stand that might be my favorite generation, like even
Oh,
better
yeah.
than like the Shiny Pearl, Brilliant Diamond, or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
just like such a solid generation and graphic setup, and like again, it ran perfectly fine. If you
There
think
were
about
like
it.
no issues.
There's
with
no
that
problems. The game ran fine. It ran like a game should.
Game. Yeah.
And playing other random, like, do you remember the game Spectroids?
Yes.
Oh, did I just unlock that one again for you?
Jeez. Yeah,
Dude,
that
I remember.
game?
So me and my next door neighbors, we all had DSs and we would play together. Is it Spectrobes?
Yeah, Spectrobes.
Spectrobes, dude, it doesn't even have pictures.
I've got the cover of the game here. If you want to
Oh, there, yeah,
that one.
dude, it totally
Yeah.
was it. I also got into Mega Man.
Oh, okay.
There was some Mega Man for
Yeah.
the DS that was like I was big on playing. But so my sisters growing up, they played volleyball, which you're familiar with that in life.
Yeah.
The volleyball life. And so they would play club and they would have like tournaments all the time on weekends. And so like I would bring my DS and I would play games like all the time. And so like I do remember that portable life very much. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of miss the portable life.
Yeah.
Like, there was something so cool about like rolling up to the function and like whipping out the DS case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Switch is portable, but just not portable enough.
And it doesn't hold the same shock value as like pulling out that DS case and being like 12 years old and being like, look at all these games I got.
Yeah. And
Like-
even I gotta admit, like, what is it? I don't remember what it's called. The portable, the other DS, the small one.
The light.
The light, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's just like not being able to use it as a Switch is weird because it's not a Switch.
Yeah, it's like they want you to pick one or the other,
Yeah.
which I don't like.
And also, I have to say, the Game Boy SP, the pearl colored one.
Oh.
Got that when I was younger too, and that was
Yeah.
felt so cool with that thing.
That
the
one's
big old
sick.
cartridges.
Right? There was something so exciting about like getting the cartridge out of the cardboard box that they used to come in. That like very vivid memories of Target back in the day with those.
My mom had. I actually don't even know where she got it. Mom, where'd you get it? Text me right now when you're listening to this because I know you will, and I love you. She had the purple translucent Game Boy Colors.
That's dope.
And accessories to go along with it.
Oh, no way.
She had the screen magnifier with the lights because that was before backlights.
That's right. I remember
so
that.
So, folks, if you weren't a gamer, your screen on a device like your phone has a backlight. So it has this image, and then there's something that gives it light so that you can see the image. Back in my day, just kidding.
You sound so old right now.
Back in the day, that image didn't have a backlight. And so you had to be in light to see it. And essentially what that meant for travelers, if you were on the road, you could only see your screen every time you went under a street light. Do you remember that? You'd be driving and you're sitting there where am I running in Pokemon? And you're like, oh, there I am. And you move and then you're like, okay, wait.
Yeah.
Because you can't see the screen unless there's light on it.
But also if it was too bright, it would wash everything out.
Yeah.
There was no balance.
Yeah. So the days before backlight was wild because you would have to have like a good amount of light, and so my mom had like that magnifier with the lights and like the added speakers, and then it had, instead of like the normal D-pad type of thing, it had a joystick that worked as the D-pad with like extra pronounced buttons. It was the craziest thing, and she used to have it like in her bedside thing, like down below. And she would let me play it with her permission, but I used to like go in and like grab it and like start to play it or something, or like take it around because I felt so cool
sneaky.
with it. Yeah, no. So, man, the portable life is wild.
And it's weird too because like for a while there, it was like portable gaming kind of switched to like phones. For a long time, it kind of became like mobile developers were like a big thing, and that's not really a thing anymore. Like it is and it isn't.
Yeah, it is, but I don't think it got the traction that it needed to stay a super well-known thing.
Yeah,
I think people's phones started getting used primarily for other things that like weren't gaming. So your mom's got Candy Crush, and everyone's playing Wordle and like these type of things, but it's like you're not like investing into a game that you're going to play for the next month even.
Right. You're not sitting down like opening this app hoping for a great story.
Because we've all played like the classic games like Flappy Bird, Crossy Roads, Balls. Right. They're all great games that like are addictive and you'll play. And you know what? Like the Balls game, it's one of those block crusher ones where you like shoot it out if you haven't played it.
The game is so fun.
BALLZ. Fun game, classic high score. Just see how long you can go until you lose. I used to play that all the time, and then like I didn't, and then I played it all the time, and then I didn't. So it's like one of those things that like I'm not going to invest into a story for like 6 months like I did for Pokemon.
Oh, for sure.
Or something. And that's where I think the mobile gaming isn't grasping. Like it's not catching people that they want to play for months on end.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hidden sauce.
Yeah, well, it's definitely hard to market something that's intended for about 5 minutes of use.
Exactly.
Like, and I know when you brought up Balls, Alex, if you're listening, I know you're rolling your eyes out there because I play that game every single time you look at me on my phone.
Yeah.
But, I will sink hours into mindless block crushing.
Yeah.
But I know that's not the market audience.
Yeah.
Like it's intended to be like I got 5 minutes here. Let me do this and let's jump out of it. Right. Where you get platforms like PlayStation and Nintendo that are like, no, we want you to sit down.
Yeah.
And like spend hours in this game. So it's weird. It's like, where do you get that fine line? Like, what is the perfect mix of mobile gaming?
I'm trying to think. So some mobile games that I've actually really jumped into are some from Supercell.
Okay.
So ones that are idle games are really good. Free idle games usually suck, which is a bummer. Have you played much idle games?
Are you talking about like what was that chicken game we used to play?
Yep. Egg Inc. Oh my goodness.
You want to talk about memories?
Boom. Dude, remember when we got like all of our friends playing Egg Inc. and it was like who has the biggest farm?
You remember when we said that it was an initiation thing?
Yeah, like if you want to be our friend, you have to
play Egg Inc. And we got
every
person that we talked to play Egg Inc.
Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful thing that we like convince people of. Yeah, no, that was good. No, yeah, I think games that are idle are the ones that grab me for the most part.
Okay,
like one of the really big ones a number of years back was what's it called?
That was the name.
No.
Okay,
Supercell. Clash of Clans.
Oh,
remember how big Clash of Clans was? It was like
you
didn't have to do much. Like you could go on and you could play, but if you just close it and let your phone do its thing, you like made money or like your stuff grew. And
reminds me of like
Dragon
Vale,
because it would create games that would be like, okay, you want to upgrade your town hall, go raid a village to make 100 gold, round number's sake, and now click upgrade, and now it takes 8 hours.
Yeah.
And you could pay to make it go faster if you want to like buy their gems or whatever stuff like that they do. But you just wait 8 hours. So you close the game and you come back 8 hours later and check it out. Like those type of games I feel like are good because again, like you said, like you can play for like 5 minutes. Yeah. But then you could be playing this game for the next like year because it just takes long. You just need patience.
There was a game that I played back when like the iPod Touch had like first come out. Mm-hmm. And it was very much a similar thing.
Nondescript listening device with touchscreen.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. You know,
smart pod.
That one thing.
Yeah. No.
I want to say it was called like Godfinger or something.
The little pygmies.
Yeah, and Pocket God. Okay.
Right.
I think there was that one. There was like two because the one I'm thinking of, I know exactly what you're talking about, the island one. But there was also one where it was like the Earth was completely like fisheyed. I remember
that's Pocket God.
Let me look up this one because I feel like...
Dang, Pocket God.
It was called Godfinger, and it was... Let's see. Wonderland Software. Do you remember this?
No.
It was essentially the same thing as Pocket God, except instead of an island, it was the entire Earth, and it was like fisheyed out.
Yeah.
And it was one of those games that was the exact same thing. You would like... do something and then you'd have to like build a tent and it would take like 3 hours. So you'd leave and you'd come back and it would be finished.
Right.
And those really got my attention as a early mobile gamer.
Yeah. Yeah. I think those ones were really fun. Pointing out again, Supercell, off the top of my head, they also they made Clash Royale.
Yeah.
Which was like, how to explain it to people who don't know video games well. It's a game where essentially like you have this bar of like money that continues to grow or energy, and then you can like play your cards out based on like how much energy you have, and that like sends it to attack the other team, and then like you're just going back and forth at each other to like take each other's towers down. Another one that they made was what's it called? I don't know if they made this one actually.
What was this developer again?
Battle Royale. Did you played Battle Royale?
Battle Royale?
Yeah. That one was
talking
similar.
About Battle Royales. Butter Royale.
Yeah. No, Supercell. They have another one that I actually still kind of play. That's Brawl Stars. It's kind of like they have like a battle royale option and a few other game modes, but it's like essentially like you can jump in a game and it's like 2-3 minutes long and then you jump out. Like it's one of those quick like cartoony looking ones that's just like a top down, you're looking down at this person type of game, which is like I'll play every now and then just cause. But like I don't know, mobile games, like I kind of prefer mindless games.
Right.
And so like those high score mindless games are always like ones that I can like stick with, or like they'll be on my phone for years.
Oh, for sure.
I'll play them twice. But when I needed them, they were there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you're sitting bored and Egg Inc. is on your phone.
Yeah, you open it up, you check out your chickens. That's just how it is.
Chicken, what you picking?
Yeah, check out
Egg
your
Inc. It's so dumb.
It's very dumb.
Yeah.
No, games, man. You're right. Like, there's so much in them, and a lot of it's memories, and a lot of it's like, that community and the friends and the way that we relate to each other, and like so much more. I don't know. Like,
I also think too, it kind of goes back to what we talked about in the last episode, like personality wise.
yeah,
Like,
bring it on home.
there are games that you won't play that I will play.
Yeah,
right. Like
spooky ones.
Like Resident Evil is the one that always comes to mind. Like I will play Resident Evil. I'll play it multiple times.
Yeah,
but it's like it's not everyone's cup of tea.
It's not.
But those, I feel like you could get a good sense of like who a person is just by being like, hey, what's your favorite game?
Yeah.
And why?
I used to, my rule of thumb to see where people were with gaming is, I used to just ask people, so you've played Skyrim? Or like, what did you play in Skyrim? Because it's like, almost that game that the majority of gamers have played. And like, if they've played Skyrim, who they play and how they play can kind of tell a lot about them, because there's so much that can go into that game.
It's very like build your own character, right?
100%. Yeah, it's very much so.
Yeah.
And so like, that was one of those things that was like one of my questions for a while for gamers, like just about Skyrim, because it's such like a versatile game that so many people have touched. Because I mean, it's been getting harped on by the developers for like over 10 years now. Just
isn't it like remaster. That game's like how old now?
12 years old.
Damn,
I think off the top of my head.
Is there another one coming out?
I think they teased Elder Scrolls 6, which everyone is super hyped about. But it might just be on Xbox, which would be a big bummer. So
Oof. Oh, because it's Bethesda, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hope Doom doesn't go Xbox exclusive, because I will cry. You good?
Yeah, I thought the computer stopped recording because it
locked. Okay. Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh, when did that happen? Yeah. If it doesn't, let me know and I'll wake it up again.
Okay.
But video games, man. They're crazy.
Sorry, that like totally distracted us from our train of thought.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're here.
Yeah. I don't know. I like video games are weird because I still feel like it's one of those things like they can relate us, but like almost not enough. Like I feel like there's some people that I would like to play games with more to get to know them, but it's almost like that like first step of like, hey, do you want to play, like, or whatever? Because it can't, like, some of my best friends at this point were just because it was like, oh, you play that game, Justin Tripp, like randomly, like I remember like when we first met him, it was like, oh, you want to play this game?
Yeah,
sure. Now he's like one of my best friends, like,
yeah,
and it's like one of those things that's like, who knows what kind of friendships you could make just from playing some video games. And like that's actually where like some people have like mentioned like it'd be really interesting to see me stream. And we've talked about streaming.
We have talked about streaming.
And I think it'd be like, I don't know if people would watch me on Twitch. I don't know if anyone who listens to this podcast would be interested in something like that. If you would, let me know, because might as well keep investing. But
I mean, I'm open to it. We've talked about it.
I play games, and you know what? We have some fun times. If we want to stream, we might stream. So yeah, no, that's been on my mind lately.
Streaming would be fun.
It could be, even just as like a pastime, just to like do it.
It would basically be like podcasting, but like instead of watching us, you're watching little characters with our voices.
A little more mindless, even.
Shoot things, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Any last thoughts for video games?
No, I mean I think we touched on
a lot more than
lot more than I thought was going to come out. Fortnite, mind you. That's where it started.
That was Fortnite. Fortnite is an expansive one.
It is.
And there it is.
I think I mentioned earlier that we could talk for an hour about Fortnite, and I want to say we did.
We did. Yeah. How do you feel about talking?
Pretty good.
Cool. Me too. Dang. It's 11:20.
I know.
Keep going. Why not? I don't have to be up until 4:30. Yeah, that's your fault, Birch. So here's the deal, folks. This is gonna be the end of this episode. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. I have just now decided we're gonna go into another topic. We're gonna go into the last topic. See how long we talk. It is going to be a subscriber only episode.
Ooh.
Because I don't want it to take 3 weeks to release this episode.
Plus, nobody wants to listen to me talk for 3 weeks.
Yeah, so it's going to be, episode next week episode. This one's probably going to come out like on a Friday. So there will be a subscriber only episode this Friday. I think that makes sense. Yeah. This Friday. If you subscribe for one episode, you want to listen to it, great. If you don't, I'll point out, I believe that the subscriber only episodes will be only on Anchor or Spotify. For sure on Anchor, I believe Spotify. I'm still navigating. So, if you want to listen to it, we're going to talk about motivation.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thanks again for listening to Dish Knows Nothing. Follow me on Instagram at Dishyman or email me at dishyman@gmail.com. Hit me up with topics and questions that I can address on the show. Remember to rate and subscribe. It's truly appreciated. Take care and stay grinding.